How we doing out there? I'm Servant. I'm Pisces. Hope y'all had a wonderful day. I had a pretty good day. Had a little tussle, but got through it okay. I'm still in shamefacedness. Modest, proper, humble, demure, sobriety, modest dress, avoiding showingness, self-control, reverence to the Father. It's called in Hebrew Bashath, Greek is Ashani, Greek Eidos. The subject has many aspects and subjectiveness. Yeah, it does. We've had some pretty good discussions so far. It's Micah and the Danites. When they were by the house of Micah, they knew the voice of the young man, the Levite, and they turned in thither and said unto him, Who brought thee hither? And he makest thou in this place, and what hast thou here? And he said unto them, Thus and thus dealeth Micah with me, and hath hired me, and I am his priest. And they said unto him, Ask counsel, we pray thee, of God, the most high, righteous, and loved, that we may know whether our way which we go shall be prosperous. And the priest said unto them, Go in peace before the Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved. Is your way wherein ye go? Then the 5 men departed and came to Laish, and saw the people that were therein, how they dwelt careless after the manner of the Zidonians, quiet and secure, and there was no magistrate in the land that might put them to shame in anything, and they were far from the Zebedonians. Well, Zebonians is what it's called. There's no D. Zebonians. And had no business with any man. And they came unto their brethren to Zorah and Eshtalah. And their brethren said unto them, What say ye? And they say, Arise, that we may go up against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good. And are ye still, but not slothful to go and to enter the possess the land? When ye go, ye shall come unto the people secure, and to a large land, for God, the most high, righteous, and loved, hath giveth it into your hands, and a place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth. Then the 5 men departed and came to Laish, and saw the people therein, how they dwelt careless after the manner of Zebonians, quiet and secure, and there was no magistrate in the land that might be put to shame. Well, that's whenever they went in there, and the Danites went in and took over that part, so that they couldn't be put to shame, which would mean that there was an army backing the magistrate, or have some kind of rule over it with a king. The children of Dan, of the 5 families, of their family of 5, men of valor, Zohor, to spy on the land, to search it out. So the deal of it is, they didn't want to have any way of anybody knowing. They just went in there and took it over. So the magistrate wouldn't put them to shame, so they wouldn't have no shame put upon them. That's just shamefacedness. That's part of one, So, where's the next one? Isaiah. had it marked. I lost my mark. Has everybody had a wonderful day out there? I hope they have. Hope there was something. Did you bite somebody in the ear today? Did you say hello, I love you, God bless? Did you make some kind of radical testimony in the middle of Walmart? Well, I kind of done a little bit of that today. Wasn't shocking, though. People wasn't shocked. So, hey, God's remnant's floating. Okay, 30-35. The futility of reliance on Egypt. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, the Most High righteous in love, that taketh counsel, but not of me. And they cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. They that may add sin to sin. They walk to go down to Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of the Egyptian. Therefore shall the strength of the Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadows of the Egyptians your confusion. For his prince were at Zoan, and his ambassadors come to Hanes. They were all ashamed of the people that could not profit them, nor be a help nor profit, but a shame and all reproach, the burden of the beast of the south into the land of trouble and anguish, from which came the young and old lion, the viper, and the fiery flying serpent, that they will carry their riches upon the shoulders of the young donkeys, as a treasure upon the bunches of the camels, to a people that shall not profit. For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this, their strength is to sit still. Well, that was pretty self-explanatory. Don't call upon my name, and you go there and you don't understand, what kind of travaileth that you're going to be off into. Okay. They walk to go down to Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of the Egyptian. There shall their strength, Pharaoh, be your shame, and they trust in the shadow of the Egyptian, your confusion. So basically what the Lord is saying is that do it by your own will. Go ahead. Just hang in there. Just do what you want to do, and see if you don't have some strife, confusion, no understanding about what you're walking off into, what your riches be stolen, or whether you gather riches. It's just like dust in your mouth. It's just going to float away. So always remember that spending an hour a day with the Father, He wants to know who you are. At this point, He knows exactly who you are. But the point of it being is that He wants you to know Him. He wants you to know that He's there, and He'll show you. Just have patience. Give yourself a little time. Do your precepts, statutes, commandments, testimonies, and just walk in natural law. I've been hearing people all day today, well, there's something going to happen here, there's something going to happen there, this is a time for this, and this is a time for that. And even normal people are saying it, so I'm going, normal? Which would be like a Pharisee. But it wouldn't be, normal for us. As far as the Christian people or non-denominational people, whoever it would be, the understanding is that the people, like of Congress, and saying these things are going to happen, these things are going. Look here, turn your head to the left. You don't know what's going on. Turn your head to the right. You don't know what's going on. Just stay in God's natural law. Stay in Psalms 119 and stay in it to win it. Principality's going to push against you. But understand, you're your own world. You're your own person. You're your own queen. You're your own king, prince or princess. Make your own good, sound decisions for your own family and your own life. They can't do it for you. They've tried all these years. Look how confused you are today when the dollar is not worth 10 cents. Gold is out the roof. Silver's going behind it. And then all of a sudden they're going to dump that in and go to a Bitcoin exchange. And at that time, you'll have to make a decision. So hang in there. Okay. Isaiah 54:4. Let's start with the very first. The Lord's everlasting love of Israel. Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing, and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord, the Most High righteous love. Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth their curtains in thine habitation. Spare not lengthen thy cords, and strengthen the stakes. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to inhabitate. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of the widowhood any more. For thy Maker is thine husband, the Lord of hosts, most high, righteous, and loved. This name and remember, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth shall he be called, the most high, righteous, and loved. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken, and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou hast refused, saith thy God. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with a great mercies I will gather thee. In a little wrath I have hid my face from thee for a moment, but with an everlasting kindness will I have mercy of thee, saith the Lord, thy Redeemer. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed. Okay, that's shamefacedness. It's the same thing. Neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of the widowhood any more. So basically, the point of whatever sin that they had casted or had done, and the father, they were desolate of children, except for the married wife, saith to the Lord. Understand that there's forgiveness. There's always forgiveness. As long as you don't travel the path to where you turn your heart completely to stone because you don't want to know the Father at all. And if you do that, and you can't come back, and you don't know Him. I mean, you just say you really don't know Him. You've done your sin, He turned His face away, and then you understand that you come back, and all of a sudden you feel a difference, okay? And you're older, you know better more now than you did then because it doesn't suit you anymore. It's just not. It doesn't serve you. And you understand now, you get to understand the Lord more and more and more. And you spend an hour a day with Him. You stay in the precepts, statutes, commandments, and testimonies. And you understand that you're walking the faith, you're walking the footsteps of everybody else behind you. you understand more now. And I know that young women, young men, how that they're, you know, this, that, and the other, and everybody goes, it's hormones and it's this, that, and the other. Look, hormones or not, you know better. The thing about it is that there's all kinds of things that you can catch out there that you can't get rid of. And there's lots of things out there that you can do that takes you further down the rabbit hole than you ever thought you'd ever go. And sometimes you cannot get out of those things. You got to understand that the people that want to keep you in the cycle, they'll blackmail you. They'll take you in different directions you never even thought you'd be in or ever go to. So understand that, ladies, you can be as bold as you want to, okay? And you can also be sacked up by somebody that you don't want to. So understand that sometimes it's better to be more laid back to your understanding that things can happen to you. Even though you might think you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof. And a lot of people think that. And then all of a sudden they get racked up and locked up in cages. And then you can't never tell what happens after that. And that's a sad story. So understand that when you're reading these testimonies and precepts, statutes, commandments, you got to understand that these are your footsteps. Everything that these people are saying has happened and is true. And it's happening today, just as we speak. So you got to be really careful about what's going on. Gentlemen, kings, you got to watch those princesses. Makes no difference who she is or what she is. And understand that no means no, you know. So something happens, it's not on your head. But if you didn't say, hey, you know, I don't think I'd do that, it's too late. Or, hey, it's dark out there, you probably ought not be there, you know. Understand you're just looking out for them. It's also looking out for yourself, too, because you don't know what telling you're going to walk off into. But anyhow, I digress for this moment. Jeremiah 23:40. Wow. That was denunciation of the lying prophets. Wow, that's going to be pretty good. I'll start here at 38 or 36. And the burden of the Lord, the most high righteous in love, shall ye mention no more. For every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted the words of the living God, the most high righteous and loved. Of the Lord, the most high righteous and loved, the host of our God, the most high righteous and loved. Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, what hath the Lord, the most high righteous and loved, answered thee? And what hath the Lord, the most high righteous and loved, spoken? But since ye say the burden of the Lord, the most high righteous and loved, therefore, thus saith the Lord, the most high righteous and loved, because you say the words, the burden of the Lord, the most high righteous and loved, and I have sent unto you, saying, ye shall not say the burden of the Lord, the most high righteous and loved. Therefore, behold, I have utterly forgotten you, and I will forsake you and the city that I give you, and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and perpetual shame, which you shall not be forgotten. Well, that's simple enough. That what they were saying to say is the burden of the Lord. It's not the burden. Here it is. And as the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say the burden of the Lord, I will even punish that man and his house. Well, it's not a punishment. The point of it is judgment. The understanding that you walk in the flesh, what happens? That's judgment. And that's simple enough to understand. You walk in the faith of the Father, and you may have an minute, and just, I rebuke that, Father. Well, there's no judgment in that, you know. He just goes, okay. At least one thing about it, at least you're correcting yourselves and trying to get to the Father, trying to understand the Father, trying to be with the Father. Just understand that perpetual shame. Some of you have that, and I understand that. Why? Because you've done something and you kept doing something and you kept doing something to try to feel something out of the deal. And you're not in congregation, you're not in with your people, you're not in with your family, and it's a perpetual shame. But understand, all you got to do is stop. You got to remember Jesus, the Father's remnant is floating right now. All you have to do is turn around and say Jesus. And just keep saying Jesus and keep walking with Jesus. You're going to want to go back because the new way is scary and the new way you don't have any idea of. But look here, at least the new way is a new way. Okay? Find somebody to help you. No big deal. Go to the police station. Ask for some help. Get a pastor. Get somebody. But just understand that when you turn around and you walk with Jesus on your lips, they're going to take care of you 100%. You put your heart into it and your effort, you won't be let down. I can promise you that. Okay, Ephesians 5:12. Yep. But anyways, I hope everybody had a great day out there today. 5:12. Walk as children of light. Be ye therefore followers of God, the most high righteous love, as dear children, and walk in love as Christ also hath loveth us, and hath given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God, the most high righteous love, for the sweet smelling savor. But fornication and all uncleanness and covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becometh saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not covenant, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an adulterer, hath an inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God the most high righteous in love. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God the most high righteous in love upon the children of disobedience. But not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometime darkness, but now are light in the Lord the most high righteous in love. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and the truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord the most high righteous and loved, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of these things which are done of them in secret. Well, we understand what the point of done in secret. All these things, the point, what really got to me is let no man deceive you with vain words. For because of these things cometh the wrath of God, the most high righteous love, upon the children of disobedience. Well, have you seen the point of children of disobedience? The point of understanding that these children are disobedient to you, and how did that happen? Was it the mother's fault? Was it the father's fault? Was it the school's fault? Whose fault was that? And you go back and you try to understand what had went on. Well, following with the Lord, following with the Father, and understanding that that you stay in His commandments, His testimonies, His precepts, His statutes, and you stay with the Father for about an hour a day. You say prayer at the table. You do kind gestures and building up instead of tearing down. And let me tell you something. I know hardship households, how hard it is to keep something rounded up. And something around you because you got to work 24/7 because you're a single mother, you're a single dad. The point of it is that how do you create that moment with your child where they understand what you're saying? In this world, or priorly, whenever my children were going to school, they said, well, we got to have you sign this paper for sex education. I said, well, you'll sit in the hall, won't you? So the point of it being is that they still went anyways. They still done what they wanted to do anyways, behind your back, and kept on going. And the teachers didn't help at all. They were just, we got to follow protocol, not no moral consciousness. Well, guess what? This is where you're at today. Understand what the Bible is saying about the point of people. They don't want to be corrected. And these people that are around you today, the younger generations, they don't want to understand who God is or what it's all about. They just want to live their life the way they want to, and they don't understand it's shamefacedness. They don't understand that modesty, and a lot of people don't. It's just what it is. Well, understand that the Father does. The Father understands every word in here. And they've tried to make a Bible that says, okay, you can do whatever you want to as long as it's not true. It's not ever going to be true. No matter what kind of lies they want to stack upon it. They're trying to change the word every day. And when AI gets on here, it's going to say, well, guess what? I'm a robot. And I can do anything I want to do when I want to do it. This is what you do, So understand that the time is coming. I've got quite a few books from back in the 70s and the 60s, and some on way on back there. And what I was thinking about doing is doing a reproduction of them and sell them in a module. And that way that you would really have an understanding of what the word is and sell the modules. And, people don't understand what's going on today because the word has been so misconstrued and perverted. Not misconstrued and converted, it's perverted. They say, well, it's another synonym to the word, or another way to pronounce the word. Or, let me tell you something. The true word is the only word there is, okay? So, you go all the way back to LXX, or how it comes into the Gideon, the first Gideons, the first King James. These things have to be understood. They have to be understood that even though it's thee, thou, ye, you can figure it out. But it has to be the true word, the true word of God, because it's like, what was it? The NIV. Look, there's one that was put out not too long ago, and it was in the Greek, and what it was secondary Greek context. Now, I did enjoy that read because it actually was from the King James Version. So, I would like to have those books. I will get them one day and understand a little more about what I'm doing. Judgment of Babylon. Is that where we're at? Yeah, 47:3. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin, daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne or no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the milestone and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the river. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, ye the shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord, the Most High, righteous and love of hosts, is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of the kingdom. Well, that's understandable, but you got to understand. Now, I didn't read no further back by that. I bring near my righteousness, and it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. So the point of it is that the way that it's set aside, men and women, it's not just women. Men, if you're a king or even a knight, it's always my lady. It's not, how you doing there? What you doing out there by yourself, It's just as much the man's fault because he can say no at any point in time. But understand that whenever you have those gestures, both sides, men and women, you got to look at it as what it is. Sin is sin, and whoredom is whoredom. And men, lust, and whoredom is the same, okay? Not the same in context, but lust and then whoredom. So understand you get 2 points of it. And then the other one would be 2 points too because it's mammon and whoredom. So understand that these things are real. It's reality. It's not just going out there and say, have at it. Because the reality is that there's judgment coming. Okay? You got to understand that you're going to be judged for these things. You want to go to heaven and eternal life. You're going to make it to heaven. You're going to go through the book of life. But understand that making those decisions on the ground out there, like I said, handsome Jack, beautiful Sally. We know what woman is. We know what man is. But we also know what lust is. But if you go up and you want to talk to somebody, talk to a woman or talk to a man, you do that to understand your person. If you want to be around those people. If it's in the wrong context, then you have to leave. Like I said, double tongue, whatever it may be. Don't sell yourself short. The Father made you a person, and all you have to do is wait. And I understand that, the principality and people and all this, you're this, I can't believe that, or you're that, I can't believe that, Well, that's up to you. That's not up to everybody else. And shamefacedness, that's the same thing. It's what they're trying to do. They'll try to shame you into anything. They'll try to shame you this way or that way. So, and I was sitting there thinking that, I heard this one girl one time, and the things that she had told me is kind of really way out of my wheelhouse. It was just not understandable because the way that Ashtara has come so far forward to changing women to men and men to women, and then understanding that how these things are happening. And in my mind, I don't understand it. But the point of it being is that it's not for me to judge. It won't be with me because I won't do those things. But understand that I don't judge anybody on anything that they're doing. They got to live with that, and they got to live with God. That's the only thing that they got to understand is at the end of this rodeo that we're on, to try to understand where we're at. Whatever you are, whatever you do, you have to answer to the Father. You don't have to answer to anybody out here on the ground. You don't have to answer to me. You don't have to answer to nobody. But understand what the Father has said, okay? The Father had said something, and let me tell you something. This is for real. This is not, I'm not joking you. There's something that you won't get out of me. I am a Pisces, okay? I don't have that hee-haw to want to lie to somebody, because I don't. And I have seen the hand of God, okay? So understand what I'm telling you. If you're doing wrong, let me tell you, the Father's seen it, okay? So, anyways, little tutorial there, huh? Spend some time with the Father. He loves you very much. You're His children. You're loved by the Most High, You're princes and princesses. You're kings and queens, and you have royal bloodlines. And nobody just wanted to tell you that because I don't know why they didn't want to tell you that. Because you would probably end up becoming somebody, or the principality couldn't push against you, because guess what? I'm a king. I don't have to take that from you or nobody else. And that's the thing that God wanted you to understand, because you don't. Not one iota of it. And it's starting to rise up out there quite a bit about what people are saying, but let me tell you something. Don't take things out of context, okay? You understand the word of understanding about your principalities? Understand the principalities. Understand how good and evil pushes against you. All this stuff that's going on, they're going to tokenize real estate, they're going to tokenize homes, they're going to tokenize gas, they're going to tokenize everything. So, understand that the way this is happening is not compared to what you think it is. Because if we make it there, as if we make it there. But I understand that these things that are telling you that it's okay and that you can do all these things, hey, it's not, okay? If it doesn't come out of that book, there's not one person on this planet that can tell you it's okay unless it's through that book, okay? It says, don't go swimming in the creek at 20 below zero. Well, common sense should tell you that. Now, I see them skinny dipping in, jumping off in it and doing what is it called, the polar plunge? Yeah, don't want to do that. But anyways, 38 minutes. It must have been pretty good, huh? Well, I want to tell you guys something that, you're wonderful people. You're children of the Most High. You're beautiful people. Ladies, you're the most beautiful creature God ever made. Okay? Handsome jacks, you're not too bad yourselves. But understand, to be a lady and to be a gentleman, to be a king or a queen or a prince or a princess, somebody has to teach somebody something. Okay? It has to start at the top and work its way down. Bring your home together. Bring your community together. Start working together to make this work. Start planning. Start understanding what's going on. Anyways, I'll get off here. I am Servant. I am Pisces. Y'all have a good one.